Hey guys, I'm here in the headquarters with Justin.
Hey guys, I'm here in the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I already said that.
Yeah.
We are back again for another round of this metal mayhem or metal nonsense, depending where you stand. So we're going to talk about some reviews. We're going to talk about some stuff, mainly reviews, because that's what we do here, as we mentioned from time to time. But now, Justin, why don't you start it off? You did a review this week. You did a couple of reviews this week, so I don't mean to downplay what your role on the site is. But you did a review this week for a band called Fister.
Yep. They are from St. Louis, Missouri, which is in America.
That is in America. That's a rarity for us.
Yes. Fister just came out with their new album this year called Violence. And it is a very violent album, as you'll read in my review. It's interesting. It's like a mixture of doom and sludge metal kind of put together, like stoner, which is different, especially with the growling and the screaming is what really reminded me more of like the stoner metal, but also I guess with black metal tones to it. But yeah, it was really good. It's not one of those albums where a certain song sticks out. I can't really say that there was one particular song that I liked above the rest, but I like the album as a whole. It's 5 songs long, and it's just awesome from beginning to end. And I gave it an 8 out of 10. I would definitely check it out if you get a chance. The guitars are very aggressive throughout the album. There's really doesn't give you any chance to rest throughout any of it. A lot of double bass going on. I know you guys like double bass. So
who are you talking to?
Yeah, those guys.
Oh, okay. They like double bass?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I liked it. I'd check it out. You should check it out, Darrell.
It's on my list.
Yeah, put it on your
It's
list.
on my list. This is kind of that thing, that we constantly get caught up in, is half the stuff that I review you haven't listened to, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Trying to pass stuff back and forth. We're educating ourselves as well as educating you guys.
It's really bad too. I really need to catch up with a lot of stuff that you've reviewed.
Yeah, but it's hard to catch up when there's so many great new things to listen to.
Yeah. Speaking of great new things, you just did a review for a band called Svartby.
Yes, Svartby.
No, I didn't say fart.
No,
for
you
those of
didn't
you
say
who
fart.
are laughing right now, saying, "Did he just say fart?" Because I know some of you guys out there.
They're just sitting there going, "Ah, he just said fart! Ah, fart on the grave! Ah!"
That's how
They're kind of like that. But yes, Svartby is a so-called brutal folk metal band from St. Petersburg, Russia. And I defer to their bio on their Facebook page, because I think that really describes them much better than I could, because they don't really like to consider themselves folk. They don't want to be called pagan. They don't want to be called Viking. They just make music. They have a specific name for their genre, which they call Svartcore, because it is unique in that they are a folk metal band by definition, I suppose, but the music is very unique. I think my favorite part of the album, I don't know that I could pick one track. I guess the track "Sleepy Devils" is probably my favorite song on the album, because it's the most diverse track. But the album is a lot of fun. It's heavy, like the guitars are heavy, the drums are absolutely insane, but the keyboard presence, it's got a little accordion action, it's got a little xylophone thing going on, it's got so many little things, it's so happy. The keyboard is so happy, and the music is so, like, just gritty and dirty, and the vocals are like, typical screaming folk vocals, and it's just such a weird mix, because it's almost like seeing a band like El Wadey, where you want to dance while you're headbanging, but this, like, I don't want to dance, I just want to sit there and smile, because it's just so, and it follows kind of the adventures of all these mystical creatures, like imps and dwarves and witches and shit, and it's just so intense, but at the same time so relaxing. And the song "Sleepy Devils" in particular, as I said, is I think that's the highlight track. But there's a song called "Morning Wood," and it's a dance song. It's such a you want to dance to it. And you can actually go on YouTube. In the review, I linked to a video which actually has all of the lyrics to it. All the lyrics are on their website too. But I think when you see the lyrics while listening to the song, it just gives you a better appreciation. The song is called "Mushroom Rings," and it's literally about rings of mushrooms growing up in this village, and wow, the hunger problem is solved. And you might think it sounds stupid, but it's so well delivered, and the album's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it just came out. It's called Elemental Tales, and I will actually go back and add a link to download the album because we setting up an interview with the band, and in talking to one of the band members, they are so against the whole ACTA and SOPA and PIPA thing that they want their music to get out there, and he basically said, post a link, whatever you want to do. We just want people to hear it. You should actually go to their site and read the little thing they wrote about that whole thing, about piracy and whatever else. Really, really interesting how they feel about it. And
see, I like that. I like that they want that.
Exactly.
To send their music out.
They said that their album, only 1,000 copies were printed, physical copies. So, they kind of go on to say, like, if you listen to an album and you think it's an album you want to own, then go buy it. But when, money is tight, and if you listen to 50 albums today, you might only be able to afford 3 or 4. And if you can only afford 3 or 4, you should buy the 3 or 4 best ones. So they want you to listen to the album, and hey, if you don't think it's one of the 3 or 4 best albums you listen to, then don't make that one of the ones you buy.
Have it, yeah.
Yep, and I think that's a fucking great attitude to have.
Yeah.
So definitely check out their site. The site, I believe, is in Swedish. You can view an English version if you need to. I mean, yeah. I can read Swedish. No, I can't read Swedish. So Mermaider, back to something that you did. Now, I believe you have another American band?
I do.
The band Spiral.
Yeah.
Not Spyro the Dragon like Skylanders.
No.
No, Spiral.
Spiral, yeah. And the album is called The Traveler. And that kind of reminds me of how you were just talking about dwarfs and whatnot. Which, by the way, dwarfs are real. Remember Chester?
Oh, yes.
He did marry one.
Yes, he did marry one. They are real.
Yeah. But yes, I just did a review for Spiral. The Traveler was the album title, and it's not metal. But
I'm glad you can just admit that.
Yeah. I almost didn't do the review because it didn't really fit our site, but I really liked it, so I did it anyways.
You said, fuck the site, I'm doing it.
Yeah. So if you're looking for metal, this is not what you want to go to. But it's like psychedelic post rock, or what they list as like space rock. Kind of, I don't know. It's interesting. They have a lot of different sounds going on throughout the album. It's only four tracks long, and the only thing is each track is over 10 minutes. I think the only one that's not over 10 is like track 2, and the one is 19 minutes long, over 19 minutes long, and so it's definitely like a full length album, even though for 4 tracks. And the vocals change a lot. In the beginning, it's the first song. It's not even really vocals. It's like spoken word that's like shouted, and it's like really muffled with like effects on it and everything. And it's only out of the 15 minutes of the first track, the vocals only come in for like a minute in the first 3 minutes, and then a minute towards the end, and the rest of it's all instrumental. So I don't even think they really meant it to be like vocals. It was more just like a spoken message that they were trying to get by or whatever. And but it was interesting. And then of course the music was great. The guitar work is amazing. Solo after solo, very progressive, and they even had a lot of cool drum solos in there as well. And overall the album, it's got some really slow parts too. It can be very emotional at the same time as aggressive. So like I said, it's not metal, but it's some good stuff. Very psychedelic. So check them out. It's only 2 guys, and they do most of everything, but occasionally not all of it.
Yeah, they bring in a bunch of guests on the album, and
yep,
nothing wrong with that.
Nope. So check them out. And moving on, Darrell, you did another review for the band Kells.
Yes.
Is that like Keenan and...
Yes, Keenan and Kells. It's a band from France. A female-fronted metal band. Now, I know what you're thinking. Female-fronted metal. Heard it all before. Oh, my God. Here we go. But this band is a little different. And they're different in a good way, and they're different in a bad way. The good way, the lead singer, Virginie Goncalves, I probably butchered that, is not your typical female front woman kind of material. She has a beautiful voice when she's singing clean. She could sing right up there with the likes of Christina Scavia or Simone Simons, but she also does the screaming. Like really intense, screeching vocals, and that's not something you see from female-fronted metal bands all that often. I know you're a big fan of Arch Enemy, and Angela Gasso definitely has a screaming voice, but hers is like that deep guttural scream.
Right.
This is almost a black metal screaming.
Nice.
So she is the positive of the band. The name of the album is actually Anachromy. Now, this band in France is apparently very popular. They opened for Tarja. They've opened for Apocalyptica.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, they're known
around,
apparently everywhere in Europe, but we don't get that stuff here.
Yeah.
But the problem I have with it is that as good as her vocals are, the music, after the first probably 3 tracks, the music itself is so boring. It's seriously, some of the guitar riffs sound like they're straight off an old Korn album. It's like new metal guitar riffs, just worthless chugging. It's just such a waste of a talented vocalist. And I even feel bad saying that because she does her best to save every track on the album. But there's a couple that she just couldn't save.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to listen to one of the best songs on the album, the opening song, Blue, and the second song, C'est Terre, is, those are 2 good songs to pick up. If you want something a little more melodic, then the last song, L'Echo, is a good one to check out. But the stuff in the middle, some of it is just so disappointing.
Yeah.
You remember we saw the band Luna Mortis live.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like we're the same thing. They had a great front woman, and then the band was kind of eh. Yeah. I feel like this is the same thing, and I don't know how long this can last, with the way it is. And I mean, apparently they're popular, but I don't know if they'll ever get more popular. But
So a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs, and I just, like I said, the music by the time you get to the last track, it is so. Every guitar note, you know exactly what's coming because it's literally just the same thing over and over again. Well, the music just becomes predictable. That's it, and that's like the biggest danger being in a band is when you make music where the listener knows what you're going to do 2 minutes before you do it. One highlight of the album actually, it's 13 tracks, but then tracks 14 and 15 are English versions of 2 of the songs on the album because all the lyrics are in French. The English versions are interesting, definitely interesting to hear kind of how the lyrics sound a little different from one language to the next. But that's neither here nor there.
Hopefully they read your review and fix some of their stuff for their their next album. Maybe they'll get better and take your advice.
I hope so, and I know they have some previous work, and I want to go back and check that out and see if maybe they took a Lacuna Coil where they were really, really good, and now they're trying to get more accessible.
Right.
Because it's really easy to write dun 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 kind of riffs over and over again, and you can play that for a Disturbed fan or something, and they're probably going to eat it up. Yeah. So